Hey Ghosties, I have 3 Ouija board stories because I posted a vlog on Tuesday where our Discord server controls our lives for a day, and that is what you guys decided on out of Deep Woods and Ouija board stories. Here is all of my social media. By the way, new lighting setup, guys. What are we thinking? Subscribe to join my cemetery of ghosts, and like and comment, because when I hit 1K, we will be spinning a wheel to see which 5 lucky people win 5 boo baskets. This first one is titled, "My Mom's Near Drowning by a Ghost." This one comes from Reddit user guardpatient7427. Hi all, I grew up with this as a cautionary tale about Ouija boards. I hope you enjoy reading. My mom, who we'll call L, had a friend who we'll call E, who lived in a council house with her nan. Her nan died, so didn't have anywhere to go. L let E stay with her at the time. My mom had a brother, J, who was 2-ish at the time. E babysat him for L. L had come home to E playing the Ouija board while she was supposed to be looking after my brother. Because my mom caught her off guard, E didn't properly say goodbye and just kind of threw it away in a panic. That's when stuff started happening. My brother always said something about a little boy, and that the boy was the one throwing his toys out the window. But now my mom could hear the boy calling her name. She also would randomly go into trances out of nowhere. My mom's brother T was looking after J while Elle had a bath. During her bath, she leaned back to wash her hair under the water. When she tried to sit up, she had found that she couldn't. She was under there long enough that she started to black out. When she did eventually surface, it was because all of a sudden it was like there were no hands on her shoulders holding her under. She doesn't remember how long she was under there. She had no way of telling. But ever since that stuff happened to her, she's been cautious about what she does. She still believes in ghosts, but she wouldn't want to encounter one ever again. And to be fair, I don't blame her for that. She allows me to explore the paranormal, but she has rules for me, like no Ouija board in her house. I could at someone else's for all she cares, just not hers. And I have to be careful, which I am. I always check with her before doing anything paranormal. But yeah, that's her story. That is so creepy. I would never mess with anything paranormal if like something tried to actually kill me. It is such a miracle that she survived that and like came to and realized that she could get up after a while. We are going ghost hunting after this, which will be in the vlog that we posted on Tuesday. So if you haven't watched that, definitely go watch that. That will be our first time like actually ghost hunting. It's like a little bit silly, but we're having fun with it, okay? This second story is titled, "Not really scary, but definitely surreal experience." And this one is from an anonymous user. I don't post on Reddit or anything, and often delete the accounts I have. So this one isn't very old. If you check out my profile, you'll see a few comments here and there, but not too much. However, this is not an AI story. I'm not a clout chaser. I literally have no social media other than this throwaway account. I swear everything I'm about to say is true, and it still blows my mind to this day. I'm going to try to include as many details as possible, so it might get long. So many moons ago, I started wood burning intricate Ouija boards and eventually started using them myself. These ages are approximate, but at the time I, female 18, had 2 best friends, both of whom were dating each other. Let's call them Chad, male 21, and Eve, female 18. Chad was in the military, so when he had to be on base, Eve would stay at my place. And we basically had week-long sleepovers and do girl stuff. Some of that included Ouija board stuff. So anyway, we Ouija round one night and meet a spirit. She says she was a girl named, we will call her Angel, who died of cancer when she was in her youth. This relationship went on for a couple of months, and we would just chill out and chat with her. I know this is against Ouija rules, but we would practically use the board to call and talk to her. She would tell us all sorts of stuff that would happen in the future, and even would offer me specific Bible verses to look up when I was going through stuff. They always hit exactly the way they needed to, and I didn't even believe in God. I just always trusted her, I guess. This is actually kind of a sweet story. Fast forward, and one weekend, Chad tells us he got put up on duty last minute and has to stay on base longer than he thought. He wouldn't be coming home that weekend, so Eve stayed at my place. Later on, we're talking to Angel, and she just says Eve. So Eve says yes, and the conversation went like this. He's not on the base. Oh no, he is. It was a last-minute assignment. No, he's not. Then where would he be? New York? Haha, no. He's in blank. Samantha, female, 20-ish. Neither of us have ever heard of her. I'm confused. Don't believe me. Eve's mouth just drops. Tears are swelling up. Call him. Eve calls Chad, and he acts like everything is normal. But he sounded slightly nervous, and he rushed Eve off the phone. We were used to them talking for 2+ hours normally, but this call was about 5 minutes long. They get off the phone, and Eve says, I trust him. It's okay. Angel insists he is lying. Side note, Eve and I were close with Chad's stepmom since Chad was a childhood friend of mine. So the next morning, Chad's stepmom messages Eve and I both on MySpace and says, call me ASAP, whoever gets this first. We call her and she is livid. She tells us their family came home a day early from a mini vacation to find Chad with 2 women in the house. One was in his bed, one was in the shower. She lost her shit and asked him who they were and where they came from. He says friends from MySpace visiting from New York. And then he had driven to pick them up. We live 12 hours away. Our jaws dropped. And she says he's already driving them back up. And she just thought Eve had the right to know. Now, this is where it gets extra crazy. It wasn't the first time. Chad had cheated on Eve, so she forgave him. That night, she randomly said, put your coat on. And before I knew it, Chad was outside to pick us up to go to a movie. As I'm sliding into the back seat, the palm of my hand lands on something plastic that accidentally stuck to my hand. It's an ID. But not just any ID. The ID of none other than a young woman from New York named Samantha. I looked up at Chad and said, so now that the cat is out of the bagel, Rugrats reference, was one of the girls you picked up named Samantha? His face turned pale and he stared at me like he had seen a ghost. Brown hair, brown eyes, nose piercing. I think I know her. He starts to panic, but I just give him a smug grin and say, I'm just kidding. I found her ID. Let this be a warning to be faithful next time. TLDR, a spirit outed one of my friends for cheating on my other friend via Ouija board, and she came back with receipts. I can't believe your friend got back with him. What the hell? I'd be pissed off if I found out through the fucking Ouija board. What? It's so crazy how much the board can know when you're like talking to it. It like intrigues me so much and like freaks me out so much. This third and final story is titled My Mom's Experience with Ouija Board. This one comes from Reddit user _yogurt closet. I asked my mom to retell her experience with Ouija boards so I can share with you guys, and tried to ask some questions you guys might have. Summer evening around 1983 to 84, Denver, Colorado. My mom lived alone in an upstairs apartment. There was a fire escape. She had the door propped open due to the summer heat, but the screen door was latched shut, she says. She has never opened it and never had any reason to. She invited her neighbor over to play the Ouija board. She says he was anxious about the idea, coming from a religious background. They sat down and started playing. The planchette began to move in a circle very slowly picking up speed. It started moving faster and faster until it began circling so fast they both had to take their hands off, and it flung across the room. Just as it did, the screen door from the fire escape swung open and slammed shut. Oh my god, that's so horrible. And figure eights are a sign of, like, the Z demon, and I hate that so much. That freaks me out so much. I asked if she remembered how the screen door latched. She says she didn't remember the exact mechanism, but it physically latches shut. You have to push a button or pull or twist something. She insists there was no reason for it to be intentionally or accidentally unlatched. You had to manually manipulate it. I asked if she has ever heard about this phenomenon before of the planchette circling, picking up speed, then flying across the room. She said no and reminded me the internet wasn't really a thing yet. I asked her about her attitude towards Ouija boards at the time. She said it was really fun and exciting, and she wasn't afraid at all before that point. Conversely, her partner was afraid. I asked her if she had any doubt in her mind she could have possibly been moving it herself, even if unintentionally. She insisted it truly felt like it was moving on its own. My personal thoughts: if the planchette was moving very quickly, it makes sense it would fly across the room when they take their hands off. I tried to replicate this myself, but it doesn't really seem to fling that far. But I imagine with other set of hands, it makes it a little harder to create that kind of momentum, moving completely in sync. I also find it interesting. She said it was moving so fast they felt like they had to take their hands off. Typically, you wouldn't say that about something you're moving yourself and have your hands on the whole time. Personally, I think it's unlikely the afraid person would try to scare my mom by moving it themselves. Unfortunately, we don't know this person and have no way to contact them. It would be most logical to assume the screen door wasn't totally latched, but that doesn't explain the timing, which I think is a really interesting coincidence. Some additional context: my mom got really into using a Ouija board. She says she kept picking up responses from a man who died in the 17th century. She says she almost got obsessed. It was so fun. She says she always played it with someone, a number of different people. It never occurred to her you could do it alone, because the picture on the board showed 2 people doing it. I didn't ask her too much about these previous experiences. I can if you guys want, because this was the specific experience I wanted to share. Oh my god, that one is so creepy and I would love to hear more. But I think that is the Z demon for sure. And I would love to hear like the other experiences and see like maybe if they align. I feel like the more you like play with like that kind of stuff, the more you're like asking for that thing, because that's literally like the demon of the Ouija board. That is so freaky to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you ghosties. You are all so special and unique and amazing. Like this video, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't. Stay spooky, guys. Bye!